Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing nearly consecutive differences. The title that you see there is just kind of condensed for brevity to be able to fit it on the screen. Now, I'm going to say something like 10 days ago, we featured the first puzzle from David H, or as many of you may know him, psiphiorg, where he's a long-time regular of this channel and started to dabble in construction himself. Now, to be fair, the 1-star difficulty rated version of this puzzle, also called nearly consecutive differences, is just as a 6x6. I absolutely butchered the solve. So a 2-star difficulty rated one, which is 9x9, may end up being a lot more challenging than I've actually signed up for. Having said that, thank you for those that left some comments and guidance suggesting that given it is a long weekend for the majority of the viewers on this channel in the US and the UK, it's worthwhile giving a harder puzzle a go today. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with nearly consecutive differences by David H. Let me just check everything's recording. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So in terms of rules, we have standard Sudoku, renban, and kropki dots, and little killers. So if you're familiar with what all of that means, you know what to do. Link in the description down below for you to play. On the off chance that you are not familiar with them, the rules are standard Sudoku, place the digits 1 to 9 once each, without any repeats, in every row, every column of course, and every 3x3 box. Then we have purple renban lines. So they contain consecutive digits with no repeats. Different thicknesses and shades distinguish overlapping lines. Let's see if we can find a line here. So let's use this one deliberately. So this is 9 cells long. So it's not really a lot to think about, other than it has to be a consecutive set of digits without any repeats. So it really means it's the digits 1 to 9 once each. And this one is 8 cells long. So it's either the digits 1 through to 8, again without any repeats, or 2 through to 9. As long as you have a consecutive set, you're good to go. Then we have white kropki dots. They join consecutive digits and not all dots are given. If this cell is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3, so that it is indeed consecutive. If that's a 3 consecutive to the 2 without a white dot, that is totally allowed under today's rule sets. Then last but not least, we've got clues outside the puzzle. Give the total of all the digits along the indicated diagonal, which may contain repeated digits if allowed by other rules. So these 3 cells essentially have to sum up to 18. It's in the same box. We're not going to have any repeats. These 4 cells add up to 13. And again, there are no repeats because on the renban. Seems like we're actually not going to have to worry about the whole repeat thing. Yeah, 17. If I can actually select it. Right, as always, to play along, link in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Cancel. No. Sorry for a second. Is it still recording? Come on. Yeah. Right. So 2 cells that add up to 17, they can only be 8 and 9. 3 cells that add up to 17, mind you, they kind of have to be fairly close to one another. So 3 cells that add up to 17, 4, 5, 6 would get me to 15. 5, 6, 7 is too big. And what am I doing here? Because it's 4 cells, I really have to think about these. How am I meant to be trying to discern them? So it's 3 cells, average of 5, closer to 6. So I have 4 cells in essence, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Probably it's that run. And then I want 3 digits that add up to 17. It's not going to be 5, 6, 7. So it's definitely 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I need to add 3 digits that get me to 17. 5, 6, 7 is too big. 4, 6, 7 will get me there, wasn't it? Yeah, 10 and 7. So this is 4, 6, 7. This is a 5, and that's our first digit. Let's see if I can actually figure out the others a little bit more intuitively than the mess I've done in here. This one should be a lot easier. So we said this is 9 cells long. And essentially, if you add up the digits 1 through to 9 once each, you get to 45. You take away that kind of elbow, which is not on the 38 little killer clue, and then you're left with 38. So 45 minus the 38, that's a difference of 7. This cell has to be a 7. And then all of the remaining cells are essentially the digits 1 through to 9 without the 7. Okay. What's next? Probably the 28, very similar to the 38, kind of. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cell long. I mean, it's helpful to think about triangle numbers, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if it is 6, then essentially the maximum I can get to is 21 if it's 1 through to 6. For 7, remember it's 6 cells long. So I mean, I know it's 28 for a triangular number of 7, but it's actually 27. Is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it would be 2 through to 7, which is 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. My math is correct, isn't it? So 10, 20, 27. So it looks like this is 2 through to 7. That doesn't work because I'd have to place a 1 in here. No, 2 through to 7 is too small. It only gets me to 27. So yeah, it's the next one along. 8 would be 36 for the triangular number. Minus the 1 and the 2 is actually 33. And then 33, take away whatever the 28 is. It's a difference of 5. So that looks like that has to be a 5. And these have to be 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells. Yeah, that looks correct. 3 and 7, 4 and 6, that is 10 and 20, and then 28. Yep. I'm glad I'm doing this in the afternoon as opposed to first thing in the morning, given how much I'm making the maths look difficult. These 2 cells, one of them is a 5. Just Sudoku. Let's do that along the way. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of pencil marks I'm going to really struggle to do anything with later. Well, unless I switch on hint checking, which I may well do, I'll be honest. Now, we do know that this is 8 cells long. Let's take the extreme version, which is 2 through to 9. That means that these cells have to add up to 44. And then 44 minus the 33, that would have to be an 11 for this to work. So it's definitely not that. It's 1 through to 8, which is exactly 36. That's a triangular number of 8. Take away the 33, this would have to be a 3. And then these are not 3s. And then these cells are the remaining digits of 1 through to 8 without a 3. I think that adds up to 33. Let's trust. Not necessarily in the mood to try and verify that much. 13. So 5 would get me to 15. A 2 in here with 1, 3, 4, and 5. That looks about right. 3, 4, 5 is 12 plus the 1 is 13 plus the 2. Yep, that works. That's not a 3. Okay. How many more have I got? I'm gonna just, it's not the right setup, but I'm just gonna, so I don't revisit little killers that I've essentially used. I haven't used the 18 yet. I've used the 13. So I've left to think about, actually, and I've used the 33. So it's only really the 23 that's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells long. 1 through to 6 is too small, that's 21. 2 through to 7 is 28. And then the difference of 4, that definitely works. And then these are, I'm not going to pencil mark this, am I? I think I have to. Unknowingly, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But without the 4. So 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 3 and 7, that's 10. 6 and 5, that's 11, and 2 is 13. So 10 and 13 is 23. That all adds up, and then no 2s in here. I am definitely going to regret pencil marking these, and this is not a 3, and not a 7 or 5. So maybe not. No regret so far. Okay, not 6s anymore. Not a 5 here either. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of maths for, frankly, not too many digits. Now, last time where, I don't want to say I tripped up, but it's probably best described as I tripped up, is I started to try and use the geometry of these renbans to try and find Because the important thing about the renban line is that they are all unique digits, which is like quite an important detail. That's proving not hugely useful right now. I mean, that 5, I haven't used this renban. I've used literally every other renban. So actually, in this 6 tells me that's not a 6 anymore. And this 5 can't have a 7 on it on this renban. 7 sees all of them. So essentially, there's a ceiling on this 4-cell renban. So it's essentially either 2 through to 5 or 3 through to 6. So 2, 3, 4, 6. And then the 3 and 4 have to be on it. This is not a 2. This is not a 4. There's a definite 4 amongst these 2 cells. Huh. And actually, pardon me, that is not 4 or 7. That is actually a digit. How am I missing these so badly? I will tell you that I am probably one step away from switching on pencil mark checking, because you guys are not just going to enjoy watching me struggle for ages for missing something that is incredibly obvious. So the 9 is here now in row 8, given that this is an 8. Essentially, these cells are consecutive, and in fact, this is going to be a 4 as a result. So, sorry, I jumped ahead quite a bit there. Let me slow down. Look at row 8. I have these 2 cells that are not on white kropki dots. Now, if this is not a 4, these cells cannot contain 4 or 9. The 4 can't be consecutive with anything because the 5 and 3 are taken, and the 9 can't be consecutive with the 8 because it's taken. So I'd have to fit 4 and 9 in here. So this is definitely the 4, this is definitely the 9, and then one of these is 6, 7, one of these is 1, 2, and the 2, 6 tells me that would be the 2, 6, that would be the 1, 7, and then I haven't got a clue about what's happening in here. Let's have a think. If this is 6, that's definitely 5. Because 7 is not available, it's on the renban. And if it is 7, well, the 6 is not available, this would have to be an 8. So, I mean, the pencil mark is forced, if nothing else. Then the 18 minus the 3 tells me these 2 cells have to add up to 15, except 9, 6 is not available. It's got to be 7 and 8. And then 7 and 8 is a pair. That removes the 7 from here. And I end up with 4, 6. I mean, this renban is starting to get a bit crowded, but still not quite enough to actually solve it. So I've used that last little killer clue now, like entirely. 13 is, I mean, so 8, of course, gave me 7 and 8 here, had I paid attention. So that's resolved. That gives me a 5, which forces the 6. Removes the 6's from here, removes the 5 from there. 4, 7 pair, is that remotely useful? It does remove a 5 from here, which is, again, not very useful. 7, of course, gave me a 4, a 6, no 6's. In fact, no 7 in here. This is 3 or 4, so there's a definite 7 in there. 4, of course, gave me a 7, and that is not the 7, so this has to be the 7. Therefore, 3, 4 pair. Less useful. I mean, I'll take it. It's hard work seeing all of these things. But we are making progress, so I can't complain too much. There's a 7 between these two cells, except it can't be this one because of the renban. So that's my 7, which removes the 7 as an option in both of these. And then I end up with a 2, 3, 5 triple here. Fascinating puzzle, David H. So these are 1, 2, 4. Don't want to pencil mark these. I mean, so far, every time I've over pencil marked has actually worked in my favor. Not the common thing for me. I can't complain. You see, these are different, so there is no 4 in, like essentially these are 3 and 4. Therefore that can't be 3 or 4, so not a 4. And then one of these is a 4, which means one of these 3 is a 4. Not hugely useful really, but I'll take it. The 5, the 7, the 6 I've also not used, so the 6 can't be here. It's not there, that's the 6. Doesn't help me with my 4, but 6 is, actually removes the 6 from this renban, and then 6 is in one of these 3 cells. We are going to have to start pencil marking these larger renbans. I'm really loath to do it, but like I said, so far it's rewarded us, surprisingly. Like, I'll give you an example of why it would have been useful. Where's the 7 in box 8? And it's not on this renban, because I've already placed a 7. It's not this renban, because I've already placed a 7. So it's in here, where it means that this is the 6-7 pair, and therefore this is the 1-2 pair, and this is not a 1. The 2 wasn't hugely helpful. To be fair, neither are the 6 and 7 in here. Of course, the 4 removes the 4 from there. That was probably there ages. And there had to be a 4 on this renban. So that's the 4. And then because there are no 6s for some reason, yeah, it is a 2, 3, 4, 5 renban. I'll take it. This 6 can't be on this white kropki dot because it can't be a neighbor of 5 or 7. So that's not the 6. That is the 6. And this renban is slowly filling itself, so huzzah. This is not 4 or 6. Of course, when it comes to white kropki dots, there has to be an even digit and an odd digit, otherwise you're not going to have consecutive digits. Without the 4 and 6, my options are a 2 with a 1 or 3, or an 8-9 pair. I mean, the 1, 2, 3 works. Essentially, we'd end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's tight, but possible. And then that would be 9. And then I'm left with 6, 7, 8 up here. Like I said, tight, but possible. There is no 9 on this renban. Keep that in mind. And I also still need a 5. So, I mean, the 9 is restricted to one of these 2 cells. But then the 5 could actually hide in here. In fact, these are not 4s, so that was gone a while ago. So this is the digits 1 through to 8, minus the ones already placed on the renban. So, I mean, I'm out of ideas, so bear with me. And then it's not 6, 7, or 8. We've already placed them, and it's not a 3. So it's 1, 2, 4, 5. Remember when I said something earlier about this would have to be 8 or 9? And the fact that it's not an 8. Sorry, let me rewind. I said if this is a 1, 2 kropki dot, 2, well, obviously that would be the 3. So that would be the 1. That would be the 4. That would be the 5. And then I'm left with 6, 7, 8, 9. But I'm not left with anything for this cell. So that can't be 2 with a 1, 3. That's an 8, 9 pair. Then there's another 6, 7 up here. How many low digits? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's another one up here from, I am going to pencil mark the lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, except not 4. Now, this cell sees 2, 3, and 5, so it can't be any of them. So that has to be a 1. This is not a 1. This is not a 1. 2, 3, 5 triple, which means that has to be the 4. No, I'm missing a digit. I'm missing a 6, 7. I'm so sorry. Ignore that. There's another 6 or 7 in here. So the sentiment was right in that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 plus 6 or 7, except there's no 4s. There's no 6 here. There's no 7 there. And then this is still not 2, 3, or 5, but it actually could be 1 or 6. That is frustrating. It was such a good idea. That led nowhere, really. 4 is in one of these two cells. This can't be a 4. Oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. Sudoku gave me these 2 anyway. Huh. Of course, Sudoku also gave me a 4 here, a 3 there, a 4 there, a 4 there, not a 4 here, not a 4 there either. That's a 1, 2 pair, that's a 4. That is not 1. Where's the 1 on this 1, 3, 5 setup? That's the only place for it now with the 1. I'll be so disappointed if it stopped recording at any point, but it looks okay. Given so much of this puzzle is about spotting things, I think I could easily play this puzzle again and be kind of like no better. It's almost like down to luck as to where I am looking at any point, which almost makes me want to play it again off camera. Nope, no clue. Here is something we've kind of ignored. Yeah, so like it's time to pencil mark this. I like it. It really is. So this is the digits 1 through to 9 without the place digits of 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. This is not 1 or 2. It's 3, 8, or 9, except I've got a 3, 5 pair. That's not a 3. I've got a 3, 5 pair again in here. That is not a 3 either. Now, that is not 8 for sure. So this is 1, 2, or 9. Yeah, almost. There's a definite 8 between them. Still not quite enough. Not a 3. And then 3 is in one of the... Actually, that's not the 3. So where is the 3 on this renban? That was worthwhile doing. It can only be in here. And then one of these two. The 3 surely was doing something. No 3s. 1, 2... No triple. Hard work, David. Definitely hard work. And these are all 1, 2, 8, 9s, 1, 2, 8, 9. There's another 1, 2, 8, 9 in here, plus something else, a 3. No clue. Actually, no 2s. One of these is a 2. Is that remotely useful? Just means that these become 1, 8, 9. No, and a 3. Maybe for completion, mine is purely for completion, I should pencil mark this last renban. So we know it's the digits 1 through to 9. Without 3, 6, 7, or 8. Oh, this is tricky. So this is, let's try this one. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 5. It's not 6, 7, or 8. It's just 5. Removes 5 as an option. Anyway, and then I must have another 1, 2, and a 4. That's not the 4, is it? Yeah, that's the only place for a 4. That's the other place for a 4. I think that might be all the 4s suddenly. And then this is another 1, 2. Except it's not 1, that's 2. Therefore that's 1. This is not 1, this is 2 or 9. I should do some Sudoku here and clean this up a bit, but... Is that renban entirely done now? Yes. That'll be the first one, I think. No. 389, by the looks of things. It does give me a triple. This is not 3, this is 8 or 9. And then a triple in here means this is not 8 or 9, it's 1 or 2. And this is another 1, 2 to complete the row, except it's not 2, that's 1, that's 2, that is not a 2. And then there's another 8, 9, and a 1. So 189 here with a definite 1. And this is another 8, 9, which gives me a digit to place, which is the 5. So no 5s anywhere in here except there. So that's 5, that's 3, that's 2, that's 9. Presumably that's 3 now. That 2 gave me 3. No 8, 9. There's another 8, 9, and a 6 somewhere in here. 6, 8, 9. And then in there is 5 and 7. That's the 7. That's the 5. Is that remotely helpful? 3, 6, 8, 9. This is 3 or 6. Because it's not 8 or 9. To complete the column 1. We end up with an 8, 9 pair in here. So this is 5 and 7. 7, 5. 2, 5. Is that helpful? The 1, of course, was a while ago. That's 6. That's 2. That's 7. That's 6. I need another 3, 6 in there, and it can only be in here. And this is a 1. You know, it's going to come down to, yeah, like something on the renbans to help me disambiguate, I would reckon. Don't know. And because I've already placed the 8 and 9, this is not 8 or 9 or 2. That's the 1. That's not the 1. That is the 1. The 1, of course, gave me 2, 1, 2. 3, no, already placed it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 8. 9 and 8. 8 and 9. 9, 8, 3, 6, 9, 6, 3. Need a 1, a 7, an 8, and if I've not made any mistakes, a 9 for the finish. I like this puzzle. Pretty sure I haven't solved it before. How? Interesting puzzle. Definitely a difficult one. Really requires you to be absolutely switched on in terms of being able to see everything that's going on around. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.